it's hard when guys don't know how to get out or where to go when they get out. And it's hard when you see them knowing that they have to get out, but they're still fighting.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's the worst, man. I'm always like, damn.
What do you do when you have a fighter that you know should stop?
I'm pretty honest with them. I'm always honest. I'm always like, man, listen, this ain't for you no more. And I always have to tell them, like, if I feel like it's going to affect them physically and hurt them by continuing the fight, I tell them, man, you need to stop. And more often than not, they kind of listen.
They probably kind of know.
Yeah,
right?
They kind of know, and they just need somebody else to say it.
Yeah.
And I'm more willing to tell them. I always try to tell them, but sometimes if they don't want to do it, then I can't really be a part of it.
Like when you saw Tito versus Chuck. Yeah, that's one of the, in my opinion, and no disrespect to Chuck, he should do whatever he wants to do. Maybe he enjoys it. Maybe he wants to compete. But that was one of the worst examples of a guy who used to be a fucking destroyer.
Oh,
Chuck was a destroyer.
You go watch like Babalu.
Babalu, yeah.
Oh, man,
dude, Randleman KO'd Randleman, KO'd everybody. He was a killer. Chuck was a straight up killer.
I remember watching him fight fucking Pele, Landy, bare knuckle in Brazil.
Yeah, when they had the net in the bottom of the ropes.
He got knocked down with 3 times with head kicks and still fucked Pele up. Yeah, man,
yeah.
And then to watch him, and then again another case and scenario where like young fighters see him and go, oh, that's the old guy.
Yeah,
but he shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah, he shouldn't be fighting at 50, and he clearly can't take a punch anymore. Like whatever it is, like when Tito connected on him, everything just shut off.
Yeah.
You see it just shut off, and then Tito smashes him.
And we talking about Tito. We're not exactly talking about fucking Anthony Johnson.
That's true, but I think Tito's punches are a lot better than they used to be.
Yeah.
And I think Perillo, Jason Perillo is a fantastic coach.
Yeah.
And I think he did an amazing job. And I think Tito, you know, he's just not a natural striker. It's not like his thing. He's a wrestler. But it's the way it happened. Chuck couldn't connect. His everything looked off. His timing, his movement, his balance looked off. And when you talk to people that are neuroscientists and they understand what happens to the brain after repeated brain trauma over and over and over again, and then what we're seeing is just in the cage. We don't have no idea how much brain trauma he took in camps. And it's probably pretty significant.
Yeah, I would assume.
His style was he's such a brawler, and he had an iron chin for the beginning of his career. It was just one of the greatest chins of all time. So when it failed him, there was no escape clause. There was no way. There was no back door. This was the style. The style wasn't all of a sudden you're going to be like Mighty Mouse and not get hit and switch stances and become slick. That shit is just not available. And when you saw him with this hampered movement, he just his balance doesn't seem right. Like I was watching him hit the pads when they were preparing, he's getting ready. I was watching him hit the pads. I was like, what is happening here? Like his balance looks fucked up. Like it didn't look right. Like even when he's throwing kicks, he like threw a kick and then fall back. Like it didn't look right.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I feel that even with myself. Like I don't have the same balance I had when I was 20.
Right.
And I could imagine him, like, because he probably never even focused on that.
Right. He just did it.
He was just throwing punches.
Right.
So for him, I watched a video of him shadow boxing. Horrendous.
It's rough.
Horrendous.
But then you go back and watch him when he was the champ. It's like, Jesus Christ, he's a murderer.
I know.
I watched him hit the bag. It's like a fucking murderer.
He had speed,
power.
Yeah, power.
Yeah.
Just
everything.
Putting it together.
Yeah. And just that style. The reason why he became such a fan favorite because you knew Chuck Liddell was coming to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, he was coming to kill you. And that cage door shut, and they said, let's get it on. He just stepped forward and just looking to smash. And that was his style. And it was the reason why the UFC became so famous. One of the big reasons why the UFC became so popular was Chuck Liddell.
Yep. He was a guy who everybody could identify with.
Yeah.
And the fan base of the UFC saw themselves in Chuck Liddell.
Well, they wished they could be that guy.
Yeah, that's like he was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
shaved head, the mohawk, the tattoo, that was fearless.
Yeah,
was knocking people out and would scream afterwards.
Yeah,
and it's like they saw. That's what they saw. They said, "I want to be that guy."
Yeah.
And you're right, and that's how the UFC became so popular so fast. Is with Chuck.
when you see him now at 50 fighting the way he fought against Tito, you're like, oh, it's so hard to watch. But then on the other hand, it's like, I don't want to tell the guy what to do. He's not going to live forever. Like, if this is what he really enjoys and he wants to do that, I mean, maybe it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world for him to keep going. I don't know. I'm not his dad.
Yeah.
I'm not him. I don't know what to tell him.
I mean, and also you got to think, like, he probably does worse things in his life than than getting in a cage with an old buddy,
You think so?
Probably. I mean, I ain't never hung out with the dude, but I'm just saying.
But you heard stories.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he ain't hanging out at the church.
He definitely did a share partying.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending upon what you're partying with, too. I'm sure there's certain substances that are worse than others when it comes to your brain.